Yes, people, welcome to the channel. My name is Cass, and I am going to be telling you today great options to partner Bruno Fernandes. So we're going to be going through all different central midfield options, and it's going to be quite particular. I've got loads of different names, some more realistic, unrealistic, and also, you could even call it a little bit promising at the same time. Cheap options, expensive options. Who knows? You might have seen some on the thumbnail already, which is great. But let's smash the likes. Let's subscribe if you're new. I'm trying to get more videos out, more and more and more, and let's see where we can get. But as we all know, Bruno Fernandes is staying at Manchester United. That's upset a lot of fans, and also that's made a lot of fans happy. I'm going to just stay a little bit more in the middle and try to see the best of both worlds, and I can see and understand why. Whatever my preference is, you lot might already know, and why it isn't. But we're here now. The decision's been made. Let's go win some games. How about that? But as we know as well, Laurie Whitwell, tier 1 of Manchester United sources, has already stated well before that Manchester United will be looking at a central midfield option regardless. But we're going to have to wait for some sales. And we know what kind of trouble we could be in if we do not sign a Manchester United midfielder this summer. Now, I've got my own preference. I'm not going to show him here, but my preference is develop Toby Collier and also buy another midfielder. I think there's a lot of talent in our ranks. We've got Sekou Kone, might be a little bit too young at the moment, but I really like Toby Collier. But that might not be the name on people's lips that they're going to think, oh, that's going to get us over the line. We do need someone a little bit more progressive, perhaps. Toby's got a lot of, working on himself to kind of do to stay fit. Maybe the manager doesn't like him. Who knows? But I think he fits the mold quite well. First phase play, I think he's brilliant. But anyways, let's get straight into it. I don't want people getting too bored. But first name on the list, Adam Wharton. Now, you might be thinking, how are you starting off with this? If you're not selling Bruno Fernandes, then how is this realistic? Well, with the sales of pure profit from players such as Marcus Rashford, Garnacho, and others, of course, you can actually fund for Adam Wharton. They might even be getting kicked out of Europe due to having an owner named John Textor who owns shares in both Lyon and Crystal Palace. Lyon's got more coefficient points in the Europe, so that would mean that they would go out to the likes of the Conference League, or maybe even out as a whole, depending on them, and the outcome could be fine. Who knows? But Adam Wharton, for me, is the dream signing central midfielder, a playmaker, one for the future. Buy him now means you don't have no competitors next year, because if Crystal Palace do well again, his price will only go up. I would suggest pay the money. England international as well. He's very good on the ball. Yeah, and also, I would like to tip his name as the baby Michael Carrick. Remember that guy? Yeah, him. Amazing footballer. So for me, I think he's the dream signing. Can we get him over the line? I feel like with Mbumo coming through the door potentially as well, that goes to show, even if clubs do have Europe or, facing that, we can still tempt them to come to our club. So that was uno numero. I might have got that wrong. Numero uno. Who cares? The other one, he's been tipped to Saudi recently, literally hours ago. Al Hilal are now going to turn their attentions to Edison. Now, I wouldn't call him a 6, but one thing I love about Edison, he's a bit of a hybrid of both. He's a very progressive midfielder. I wouldn't say he's the best at first phase. I think he could get caught out quite a lot, but he has a good amount of press resistance to make sure we don't end up on the floor, aka Urigates. But for me, this guy, he's being chased by Manchester United for well over a year. They're asking him in the regions of about 60 million for this signature. A bit more of a realistic signing, but would he be tempted by Saudi? They're yet to put a formal approach in. He's not given the green light yet. Maybe this is someone that Manchester United could potentially hijack in case someone is to leave quickly. But it's time of the essence, because if United don't go in there and show enough interest, I'm pretty sure he'll have other suitors linked recently with Manchester City. This guy is amazing, high energy. I've watched a lot of him this season. I watched him boss Roma as well when he needed the points. He's an absolute unit of a player. Don't be fooled by the build. The guy is strong. I've seen him go to Anfield and kill it. I've seen him play against Liverpool at his own ground when they didn't have much they didn't really need to do anything to go through, but the way he controlled the tempo could be someone that we should be looking at wholeheartedly. Now, here's a favorite of mine. As you know, I'm a big fan of Manu Kone. He's on loan at the moment from Mönchengladbach, and also he's at Roma with a 15 million fee. Now, I'm not too sure. Maybe I need to do a bit more research, but there was no guarantees to buy. For someone who is roughly around 15 million pounds, now this is a guy I like to say you can barely win the ball off of him. Again, same kind of mold of Edison, high energy, pressing monster, amazing ball carrier. His passing could be a little bit better, which might be the lackluster, but 50 million. No, that is a very nice fee for someone like Manchester United at its current state. If Sancho moves quick enough, maybe we can go and get him. He might be viewed as more of an 8, but he's definitely not an attacking threat. And then that's not exactly what we need. We need someone who's comfortable picking up the ball from the defense or the goalkeeper and keep it moving realistically. But yeah, he is definitely a favorite of mine. I would be looking at him. Can we do better is the question. Let me know in the comments. Smash the likes and keep subscribing as well if you haven't done so yet. If you know, you know. Now, here's another option. I'm going to get out of the way, but this is a fan favorite at the moment, Bamba. Now, we know that we're going to probably be bringing in Mbeumo through the door, and we're going to have some heavy AFCON tax at the moment. When it comes down to December, we lose out on Bamba if he was to sign. We lose out on Ahmad, Mazraoui, dare I say a Nana, but then also Mbeumo as well. Now, losing that whole right-hand side is not ideal, but imagine losing out on this centre mid or central midfield monster. He's got all the tools. And you know what? If you're talking about perfect partners for the likes of Bruno Fernandes literally next season, then I think he is really, if you're going to go off data and profile, he's probably the best one. He is a brute. Yeah, great ball carrier. He can play with both feet as well. He's not injury prone, thank the Lord. But he will cost a hefty fee. Now, Caicedo left for 115 million. What do we think Bamba is going to go for? I see so many unrealistic fees online. 65 million, 70 million. So, do you know who's in charge of Brian? His name's Tony Bloom. And I'm pretty sure he will milk everything he can to get something out of this guy. Now, he is definitely a monster. From Cameroon International, can that be a factor in why we might be able to, tempt him to come to United with the likes of Anana still at the club? Hopefully he goes. And also with Mbeumo potentially coming to the club. It could be a thing, but the AFCON tax is so heavy, I don't really want that to happen for us. The next option that I'm going to go is dive into the Championship. Again, recently came to my mind and came into the knowledge of, oh, wait, I remember this guy at Middlesbrough. Somebody told me about him back in January. And I was like, who's Hayden Hackney? Hayden Hackney. Not a lot of money at the moment. Michael Carrick is managing him. That link there could be definitely something. Would you say he's a 6 or would you say more of an 8? Definitely great pass of the ball. When it comes to actually breaking the lines even, go and watch a compilation of him. That's all you need. Definitely high energy, super strong, athletic. He could be molded into a 6/8. But do you want to be having potential alongside Bruno Fernandes, this season? Because United need to get back into the Champions League. We need the money. We need to move on as an institution, hopefully. And maybe Hayden Hackney could be the guy to break those lines for us. No pun intended. But yeah, he's definitely one to watch. He's not going to cost a lot. Before he's been tipped at something around the region of 20 million. I believe Middlesbrough will want a little bit more. But for me, Manchester United has been scouting him and he definitely fits the profile of what I like. Maybe he could be the new Adam Wharton. Who knows? Do you really want to miss out on this? Question marks. Someone who's out of favor over in Italy at Juve. Now, I've had many skirmishes with Saeed about this. He doesn't want this guy. He doesn't want to revive someone. He wants someone that's already good. Now, Douglas Louise was absolutely killing it for Aston Villa. When it comes to dead ball specialist, he's that man. When it comes to playmaking, he's that man. But question marks if he's the right kind of 6 profile /8 that United need. I mean, you go look at the way he played for Aston Villa. He linked up with Kamara very well. Kamara was more the 6 pretty much more ideal for that role. But this guy would definitely fill the boots of what we need currently. Maybe a little bit more of a stopgap, but 35 million. They want to recoup their money. I mean, you've got a playmaker in this guy. You know, he's got no girlfriend to focus on. A move back to England, Forest are linked. Maybe that's something we can definitely hijack. And again, within the price range, how can you say no to Dougie Louise? You know, coming back over after one failed year and a couple injuries, I think United should be looking at this one. One to watch for me, you know, as Mark Goldbridge might say. The last one I would actually put on blast is the final is actually going back in for this one here. Now, Sanderberg, Premier League proven, something that Ineos have definitely been going after. Fulham brought him in, I think, for roughly around the regions of 20 odd million. I can't exactly remember, but if you're going to go look at a centre mid and you're going to go pay for the region of 40 to 50 million, then why not go get this guy? You know, I think Fulham would welcome something like that. I think Sanderberg would want to move from there. It would be difficult considering he's only been there for a year. But if you want someone that's going to pick the ball up first phase, definitely great in defense, you know, and it's also, you know, he's got the legs to get about the pitch, got the height as well. Sanderberg is amazing. Now, before, as I was talking about Hayden Hackney, you know, when Sanderberg was at Burnley, people turned their nose up at him because he got relegated, also got relegated with Sheffield United. But yet, you know, when it always comes down to profiles and trying to pick up those bargains. For me, Sanderberg is a bargain. Now, his specialty is definitely first phase, and probably you'd say you wouldn't say long passing is his best attribute, but when it comes to the mid kind of passes, the middle of the park, that's pretty much where he's going to be a monster. Fizzing it into someone like Mbumo, forward passing, that's definitely a bit of him. Sometimes likes to go backwards and make sure everything's calm and composed, but that's something we lack, is calm and composed. But anyways, regardless of all that, let me know what you guys think in the comments, because if you got other players that you believe that could fit into this two-man midfield, let me know. I might have missed out on a couple obvious names. You got realistic ones. Again, you got unrealistic ones. Cheap, expensive, the middle ground. You got 6/H, got hybrids. I feel like United definitely got good options to go for this summer. We just don't know who. We've only really been linked with Edison. But anyways, make sure you smash the likes, subscribe if you're new, and let me know what you think about this video. And definitely get commenting. So love for that in a bit, and we are out.